What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I'm here today to do a random music collection update. I haven't done one of these kind of videos in quite a good while, so I wanted to show you some pretty cool musical acquirings that I've made as of lately over the last couple of months. I have gotten a lot of music, so I had to omit some things for the sake of preserving time, but I'll run through these as quick as possible. So I'm going to start with the CDs first and then get on the way to the vinyl. Got a bunch of 2014 releases here, so I'm going to start off with this one. This was an album that I really liked at first. I didn't really love it all that much, but after listening to it a great deal more, I have a fonder appreciation for it. This is Sargeist with Under the Crawling Shadow, Feeding the Crawling Shadows. Really top-tier finish black metal. I'm appreciating the rawness of this record a great deal more. The rawness of it was kind of a hard thing to apprehend at first, but then the more I listened to it, the more I appreciated it more. So I'm really liking this album much more now. So if you haven't heard Feeding the Crawling Shadows by Sargeist, definitely check this out. Next is probably one of the best Swedish death metal releases of last year, Vanhelgd, Relics of Sulfur Salvation. Really awesome Swedish death metal. This came out on 20 bucks spin. Definitely a top quality release. I love the album cover. I love the way that this digipack looks. You got the two arms on here, the CD and everything. Track listing. Very basic kind of digipack, but I still think the music speaks for itself. I definitely think it's top quality Swedish death metal. Continuing on with death metal, this is probably one of the most original sounding death metal releases of 2014. This is Piron with The Mother of Virtues. Very awesome, weird, dissonant sounding death metal. I love the lyrical content. I love the song structuring. I definitely think this is one of the more underrated titles of last year. I do believe that there's going to be an EP coming from this band this year, so definitely be on the lookout for that when that comes out. Next is some black metal, another black metal release from 2014, which I thought was really solid. Abazagorith with the Satanic Verses. Sorry for the glare there, but yeah. Really awesome black metal from the United States. Definitely a great live band to be checking out. Yeah, awesome black metal band from the US. Definitely check out Abazagorith. Next is a split. And pretty much this split comprises of death metal musicians playing punk. Very dirty, filthy, sleazy punk. This is Grime Gorg. It is a three-way split from bands Dirty Mike and the Boys, Violation Wound, and First Class Elite. Dirty Mike and the Boys is pretty much a side band of Mike Abominator from Gravehill. That's his punk rock band. Violation Wound, I believe, is the punk band that features Chris Reeford of Autopsy. And First Class Elite pretty much features members of Asphyx, Hail of Bullets, respectively. I definitely think this is a very creative split, and definitely shows the diversity that these kind of vocalists and musicians have, that they can definitely play both metal and punk however the hell they want to handle it, and I think this split is very fun to listen to. Next two releases are definitely something that could have been in my top 20 had I had more room for it, and I definitely think that this band pulled off one of the biggest troll jobs of the year, I would say. And I'm talking about Old Man Gloom, the Ape of God. This is the first Ape of God, and this is the second Ape of God. You can tell that they're both completely different releases, different artworks on the backs of each disc. And I don't know if you can see on the spine real clearly, but yeah, 145, 145.5. Yeah, two completely different releases, and of course you have these fold-outs here. One is yellow and one is green. Yeah, really awesome stuff. I definitely love the fact that they pretty much trolled the metal media by giving them a compilation of songs from both albums instead of giving them the actual release. So it was two different albums, two very different sounding records at that, and I think they both kick ass. So if you haven't heard both Ape of Gods by Old Man Gloom, definitely check it out. Next up is one of the best Death Doom releases from last year, in my opinion, and it has people who are involved in one of my favorite death metal bands, Father Befoul. I'm talking about In Coffination with 3 Hear Me O Death, Sing Thy Wretched Choirs. Incredible, gloomy, bleak, ugly sounding death doom. I love this. This is a screen printed cover. It's a very limited pressing, black jewel case. You got the CD here, and you have the actual booklet and inlay art hidden beneath this black case. Very cool packaging and design. I definitely love that, and I know they're going to be touring real soon, so be on the lookout for them when they come near you. Next couple of releases are some 2015 release titles from this year. First is some really awesome heavy metal, power metal from Utah. This is Visigoth with the Revenant King. Very, very catchy release. I definitely love the sing-along quality of the vocals. I love the artwork. I love the concepts. This is just a straight-out fun, heavy metal sort of release. And if you're into that style of metal, it's definitely something worth checking out. Next up is something within the worlds of brutal death metal and deathcore, whatever worlds you choose to refer to it as. This is Ingested with the Architect of Extinction. This is the imported Century Media version. Of course, I had to wait until it was available through CM Distro to order it, so yeah. This is the full album cover here, track listing, really good layout design with the CD and booklet. Very awesome if you're into brutal death metal or breakdown orientated deathcore, whatever you want to call this band. I definitely think they're one of my favorites of this style, and I know they will be touring America later on in the year, so definitely make an effort to go see them live if they're coming near you. And I recently just reviewed this last week, and I ordered through World Terror Committee and for the first time, and I'm very impressed with how quickly this got delivered from Germany all the way to the US. So this is Acherontas with Mayhem, Formulas of Reptilian Unification. This is such a bang-up package. I really love what they did with this packaging. I love that they put it in a paper sort of sleeve. You take it out and you have this actual A5 sleeve. Little artwork on the design. You open it up and you got a whole bunch of goodies in here. You got a piece of screen printed paper with artwork. You have a booklet with some artwork on it here, lyrics. You have the CD itself sealed in a special sort of thing, and you have this little bag here with some additional artwork cards. I don't know if you can see that quite well or not, but these are some extra cards with some symbols or glyphs or whatever you want to call it, and some extra little knickknacks like a piece of snake skin. Threw in a piece of snake skin in here and a little bit of incense, and it smells really good too. So I like the fact that they tried to make this very sort of spiritual and mystical with the inclusion of all of these sort of bells and whistles into this release. I believe it's limited to only 500 copies, and if you're a fan of this sort of collector's sort of style of stuff, I definitely would give major props to World Terror Committee for making this sort of packaging possible. I definitely think it's really top quality material. Excuse me. Now we're going to get on to the compilations and rarities. First compilation is of a metallic hardcore punk band from Georgia that's pretty lesser known, I would say, but they're getting a lot of exposure lately. This is Blood Shovel with retrospective 1997 to 2000. Pretty much a majority of their recorded works all in this very nice little digipack here. This was released on Obscure Vanity, which is my good friend Justin of Father Befoul's record label. You got some stock photos, a little nice CD here, more photos, credits, the whole 9 yards. I think it's really cool. Definitely check it out if you're into hardcore or punk or metalcore or any of that stuff. Next is a compilation of one of my favorite Gorg bands, one of the best I would say, and it's good to own a physical music of this band. This is Last Days of Humanity with Since 1989 Rest in Gore. Really cool little compilation here. It's a 2 CD set. It pretty much has a majority of this band's recorded work from all of their full-length material, their 7 inches, splits, covers, compilation. There's a lot of stuff on here, like almost 120 plus songs to be heard on here. I think it's really marvelous that this compilation got made. You got a lot of material on here. Definitely something for the fan of Last Days of Humanity, or if you're into gore grind or any of that sort of style. So this is a very top quality compilation. And I got a few rarities here. Since we're on the topic of brutal death metal and all that, this is one of the best brutal death metal records of all time, in my opinion. This is Brutality with Instruments of Torture. Unmatched Brutality Records. You got the bonus tracks listed on the back here. Really awesome band. Definitely love the lyrics. I love the vocals. I love the craziness and creativity of it. Definitely a classic within modern brutal death metal. And last but not least was something I found at my local record store. Found it in the used section, and it was in pretty awesome shape. I believe this is the second pressing of it, if I'm not mistaken. So if I'm wrong, please correct me. This is Mayhem with Death Crush. Death Like Silence. You see you got the band members in the back. The infamous sigil of the Death Like Silence. No mosh, no fun, no... You know what I'm going at. Yeah, very essential black metal, and definitely one of the best. Now we're going to get right straight up into the vinyl records. So, the first stuff is a band that I just recently saw live. I love this band so much, and this band was nearly to the top of my list last year. This is Full of Hell with Full of Hell and Merzbow. What a marvelous, marvelous record. Very beautifully done here. This, of course, Profound Lore released the CD. This is the vinyl version through A389. Definitely love the way this is packaged and laid out. Printed inner sleeve. You got lyrics on the back here, and the vinyl color, I believe, is Orbital Lobe, which is a sort of purplish color with a darker purple haze right in the middle. Of course, you have the artwork on the record print, and you have the label logo on the other side. And I was lucky enough to get the Sister Font tape that came with the first 100 orders. This is, of course, the Merzbow Full of Hell side of things. Definitely a fun little collector's item to have, and I think Sister Font is great in its own right. So, if you're a fan of Full of Hell, I would say the Full of Hell Merzbow collaboration is marvelous. I love this album so much, and I love this band so much. And since we're on the topic of A389 recordings, here's another A389 release that was just made. This is Jabal Be with a self-titled release. Very beautiful album cover art here. Back of it. Pretty much it's their debut album, plus a majority of other EP release tracks. Yeah, really awesome stuff. You got this little lyric sheet with the photo and all that. And the vinyl color is very, very nice, and it sounds great too. There's a big poster in here, but I don't want to take more time by taking it out and show it to you. But this is the vinyl color. It's a split vinyl, purple on one side and green on the other. I definitely think it's an amazing thing to listen to. Definitely for the fans of metallic hardcore. Next up is my first Iron Maiden vinyl. I have a bunch of Iron Maiden stuff on CD, but I've never owned a vinyl record of this band, and that immediately changed as soon as I saw this. This is Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. This is my second favorite Iron Maiden record behind Power Slave. I definitely think this has a lot of great songs to jam to. The Evil That Men Do, The Clairvoyant, Can I Play With Madness? This is such a great album, I would say. One of my favorite Iron Maiden records. Of course, you have a printed inner sleeve with additional artwork and lyrics on the other side here. It's on a heavyweight black vinyl. I think it really sounds awesome. This is a nice little remaster here. Definitely some good thing to own, and I'd like to get more Iron Maiden vinyl as time goes by. Next is a double dose of Krieg. First off, we have the reissue of The Black House. This was released on Foreign Sounds. I definitely think this is a top-notch release here. Very nicely done here. You got this little big booklet here with some liner notes and assorted other information about the recording of this record. And it came on a very nicely done lemon lime green clear colored vinyl. Very nicely done color here. It definitely sounds really good too. And since we're continuing on Krieg, This was in my top 20 of last year. We're going to get into some releases that ended up showing up in my top 20. Of course, the first one being the Full of Hell release, and now we have Krieg with Transient. Definitely incredible US black metal. This is the Init Records version. It comes with a bonus 7-inch little sheet with some more credits and liner notes and all that. And both the 7-inch and the 12-inch come on a very awesome, let me take this out here. It's a black vinyl with some white splatter. Definitely think this looks good and sounds really good. Yeah, Krieg definitely outdid themselves here with this release. I definitely think it's them at their absolute best. Gotta put this sleeve back in the thing very carefully, so you have to excuse me on this part. Yeah, watch as I try to struggle with this thing here. Yeah, very weird little case to put the record in. Ah, there we go. Back to normal. All is well in the world. Next up is another 2014 release that was in my top 10. Fanta Fax with Sacred White Noise. Pretty much a bare bones sort of vinyl, just like the CD. It's very bare bones. You get the 6 tracks that are on here, and if I'm not mistaken, this is the first press. I ordered this through Ominous Domain, and I was lucky to snag it. It's on a black vinyl, and of course you see on the record you have the name of the album and the artist, and on the B-side it's just very blank. So, it sounds great, and I still think this is a marvelous album. Next release is something I got through Unholy Anarchy, and I've been wanting to get this album for quite a long time, regardless of what format it was in. I wanted it either CD or vinyl. I had the shirt, I had the flag. You see the flag in my videos most often, but I've never had it in a physical format, but that all changed now. This is Visceral Disgorge with Ingesting Putridity. Very awesome brutal death metal band. Definitely a lot better album than I was expecting. I really like the production. I really like the way things sound on this record. I love the slammy sort of breakdown parts. I love the guttural vocals. It's a very entertaining release, and I'm very much excited for this band's future. I know they recently had a death in their respective band, but I know they're forging forward and continuing to make great music. You have this little lyric sheet with additional artwork, and this is the other limited version. It is on a red vinyl. Very nicely done red vinyl here. Let me slide that back in there real quick, carefully. And yeah, definitely check out Visceral Disgorge if you're into brutal death metal. Next 2 releases I got from Ivory Atler. This is a great band to be on the lookout for. They're going to have a new album coming out later in the year, but this is a band that definitely loves to play with experimentation. This is Crowhurst. The first release that I'm showing you is Agory. And the other one that I have is my favorite of the bunch, Memory Loss. If you're into electronics, noise, power electronics, drone, this is a band that does many multiple styles. I mean, their whole recorded work is on Bandcamp if you want to listen to that. And the vinyl looks really awesome. The Agory is on a marbled purple sort of vinyl color. I really like the way that this sounds and is played. And this second one here, Memory Loss, it's on a marbled sort of green color. I definitely think this sounds phenomenal and is definitely a joy to listen to. Be on the lookout for their self-titled album coming out later in the year. Next 2 I ordered from Trill Command, which is the distro that's run by my good buddy Ethan of Primitive Man. First vinyl is one of the best sludge metal outfits going right now. This is Fistula with Vermin Prolificus. Very awesome sludge metal. I'm a big fan of what this band has been putting out. My good buddy Dan of Patak Records is singing on this album, and I definitely think it's a great record to listen to. It's on a standard black vinyl, and it has a lyric sheet and additional artwork to be shown here. Very good sludge metal. Definitely support Fistula. And surprisingly, the next one is pretty much the only 2015 vinyl that I've acquired as of lately. This is Primitive Man with Home Is Where the Hatred Is EP. Very awesome artwork here, back of it. And it's on a standard black vinyl. Of course, you have the lyrics sheet and additional sort of stuff. It's on a standard black vinyl, but I still think it sounds heavy as hell. So Primitive Man definitely know how to bring the Doom greatness. These next two vinyls I got out of sheer luck through one of my followers here on YouTube. Met this guy at Destroying Texas Fest last year. He contacted me about sending me a Mortuary Drape t-shirt, but what I did not expect was a handful of spare vinyl, which I'm extremely grateful for. And out of the vinyls, these are the two that I definitely want to show you guys here. First off is Ketsir with their debut Satan's Boundaries Unchained. Fantastic German black thrash. I definitely love the way that this package looks. It's a very awesome release. Of course, Iron Bonehead put it out, so you know you're going to get top quality material here. Of course, you have, it's on a gatefold with a affixed booklet. You got the logo here, you got lyrics, you got the band member photos. It's definitely something awesome to look at. It's on a heavyweight black vinyl, and yeah, you get where this is going here. But I think this is a very top quality package. And next up is some very essential black metal from the band Lord Belial. Very good spot gloss cover here. Enter the Moonlight Gate. Floga Records, 2014 reissue. Very awesome glossy gatefold cover here. You got the band members, you got the lyrical content and information, and it's on a standard black vinyl. I definitely think this sounds amazing. There's also a printed inner sleeve in here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, nice little printed inner sleeve here. With credits and other information. I think it sounds awesome. These next three I got through Nuclear War Now, and these first two are definitely in my top 20 of last year. This is the Misako Un Ojo pressing of Trench Rot's Necronomic Warfare. Very awesome, old school style death metal. I love this big artwork on this thing here. Really amazing. You got a little lyric sheet with some awesome additional artwork here. It's on a standard heavyweight black vinyl. I definitely think it sounds awesome to listen to. Very well done packaging here. And this was also in my top 10. Also a Misako Un Ojo release, but of course this came out on Dark Descent. This is Swallowed with Lunar Terial. Wow. Such heavy finished Death Doom. Very awesome packaging here. Of course, you have the gatefold with the band members on it. There's a big, huge booklet in here somewhere, but I want to show you the D side of this release. You have this really nice little etching here. I don't know if you're able to see it well or not, but hold on a second here. Yeah, it's as good as it's going to look here, but yeah. Very nice etching of some of the artwork that appeared on the record. I definitely think this is one of the best Death Doom albums of last year. I definitely think Swallowed have showcased themselves to be a very dominant force within the Finnish metal underground, and they definitely showcase that here with Lunar Terial. And the last bit of vinyl, and the last bit that I got from Nuclear War Now is going to be something that leads into a stack that has some albums I consider some of the greatest of all time. This is the last thing that I had ordered from Nuclear War Now, and this is a reissue from Earache. This is one of my favorite death metal albums of all time. This is Nocturnus with The Key. Way ahead of its time. Of course, the great Mike Browning on this. Such an amazing, amazing piece of death metal. Definitely way ahead of its time. You see, you got this little lyric sheet here. Of course, you got the band member photos. You got Mike Browning in the middle. Definitely a very well done lyric sheet. And the vinyl color I wanted to get pretty much has a distinctive 80s sort of feel to it. It is on a neon pink vinyl color. Of course, full dynamic range, I would say. Yeah. It definitely looks great, and it sounds great too. Definitely a classy 80s sort of vibe to it. Yeah, The Key is one of my favorite death metal records of all time. And these last three are also some of my favorite albums of all time. I was going to get this album in any sort of format, so screw it. Slayer, Hell Awaits. This is my favorite Slayer album of all time. I love this album so much. So aggressive, so powerful. Definitely a true triumph for Slayer, the early days. You got this printed inner sleeve with the lyrics and some additional notes and artwork on here. And this is a picture disc. It is a gold picture disc with red blood splatter and of course the band logo. And surprising to say, this sounds great. It is a great sounding picture disc, and definitely very, very impressed with the way that this sounded. I believe this is the 2008 repress. Yeah, I'm just happy to own this. This is my favorite Slayer album of all time. Next up, the last two are two of my favorite black metal albums of all time. First off, I got this through Hell's Headbangers. This is a reissue of some sorts. Immortal, Pure Holocaust. One of my all-time favorite Norwegian black metal albums ever. This is the true representation of Immortal, of course, before the silly music videos and all the other sort of jokes about Abbott and all of that. Such an amazing album. I mean, songs like A Sign for the Norse Hordes to Ride, The Sun No Longer Rises, Eternal Years on the Path to the Cemetery Gates. Such a marvelous, marvelous record. It comes on a really cool little printed inner sleeve with the old band logo, Sons of Northern Darkness. Lyrics are on here, and it comes on a really nice white vinyl, 180 gram white vinyl color. Beautiful. This is one of the best Norwegian black metal records ever, and yeah, it's definitely worth listening to if you want to get into this style. And the last vinyl that I'm going to show you here is something that I got from Discogs, and I know I talked about this a while ago, but I've been wanting to look for an actual copy of it somehow. I'm just grateful to finally have this. Bathory, Under the Sign of the Black Mark. Wow. I love this so much. Yeah. This is the Black Mark Productions plastic head release, standard black vinyl. Of course, you have this lyric sheet here with the Elizabeth Bathory right in the middle here, lyrics and all that other stuff. Yeah, really amazing album. This is my favorite Bathory album ever. Aside from the self-titled with the goat and everything, this is my favorite Bathory record. So many great riffs, so many awesome songs to be listening to on here. Yeah, classic essential Swedish black metal from the great Korthon, Aquamanthorn. So, yeah, that's my collection update. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to conclude this video. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel, and until the next time, Army Hope out.